everybody, welcome to Overcoming My Lung Disease. This is week number 65. I can't believe how time is flying. Tiny P here, your humble host. And each week I try to bring you guys cutting information, different things that are out there that I've stumbled across that can have a positive effect on your life. And today I'm with a good friend of mine, Dominique, and she is a relationship coach. And I figured, why not bring her in there and I'd ask her a couple of questions and she can share what she does best with you guys and how she helps other people. So Stephanie, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate that. And hey, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions if I could.
Sure, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm a health educator, crisis counselor, and crisis counselor trainer. I have an undergraduate degree in psychology, a double master's degree in health and education. I am a Reiki practitioner, a relationship coach, and I'm currently the CEO and president of Mind and Body Awakenings.
That's a lot right there. Holy cow.
I'm busy, yes.
So what is Mind Body Awakenings?
Mind and Body Awakenings is, and I'm going to read our little mission statement here.
Okay.
We provide personalized support and resources to assist you in transforming your life into one with greater joy and purpose, better relationships, and increased resilience to change.
Increased resilience to change. Wow. So out of everything that you have done, where do you feel you're having the most impact and why?
Well, because of all areas in life where people are getting affected by happiness, relationships is the number one thing that people talk about all the time.
I see. And how did you discover the passion for helping people transform the quality of their relationships?
Kind of stumbled upon it because I had to overcome my own really unhealthy relationships. I was raised to believe that dysfunction was normal. I did not know that there was such thing as healthy relationships. And that actually turned into me having several unhealthy relationships over the course of about 15 years, maybe even more like 20 years. And I had to make a decision to make major changes in my life. And once I did, I started to take the action steps that I needed to make and really look internally, I was able to transform my own life and then make it so that now I am currently married to the man of my dreams.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's my friend also. So what are some examples of insights that help the transformation?
There's a lot of different things that I had to go through, and there's a lot of things that I would like to teach you, but since this is a short period of time, I'm going to go through 4 different tips that I would like to share.
Cool.
One of them is to really feel the pain. I think that a lot of us are raised to put on a face for people. We go around with all this pain that we're trying to cover up, and we try to pretend like everything is okay, when in reality we're really hurting so badly inside. And it's really important for us to feel the pain. And one of the biggest things that I noticed as I was going through my depression after a failed, really unhealthy relationship, I was so used to trying to do something to cover it up. And I realized that the covering it up was going to put me right back into another unhealthy relationship. It wasn't going to allow me to really feel and learn from the pain.
You're perpetuating the same thing over and over like a cycle.
Exactly.
Vicious cycle.
Exactly. Sure. And feeling that pain and then letting that little inner child that's inside of you say it's okay. Wow. You don't have to keep reliving that anymore. It's not your job to live that way anymore, and you can get out of that. So feeling your pain is actually a really important one.
It sounds like it's freeing.
Yeah,
so
very
cool.
freeing. The next one, follow your passions. The biggest thing that I see with people is that they have lost themselves, or because they're putting on this fake face for people, they're just doing things for other people all the time instead of doing what makes them feel good inside. So like when I decided to end my relationship and go through my transformation, one of the big things I had to start doing was saying no to people, or saying no to things that didn't make me feel good, and say yes to things that did make me feel good. So I jumped out of an airplane, I traveled across country, I went to concerts, and literally if it sounded good or felt good at all, I decided to do it. And when you start to live that life that you only follow the things that make you feel good and you try to stay away from the things that don't make you feel good, it's life-changing, because then you don't want things that make you feel bad to get in the way of your life anymore.
Wow.
And it changes your boundaries. It changes everything.
Sounds like you had a lot of fun discovering who are you really.
Oh, I did.
Wow.
I did.
That is
Very
super
much
cool.
so. And so much so that it was when
me.
I did find now my husband, I had to go through a little bit of a period of, I am so happy with the life that I have right now that he's really got to prove that he's as good as he seems. Because I wasn't going to allow anyone to take away that amazing, wonderful feeling that I was having.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, and that was a big change, because before I would have just said, okay, I'm just going to deal with whatever I can get. I'm going to just take that, oh, you're going to have to deal with somebody's crap. You might as well deal with this person's. And after my whole transformation, I said, I'm not. I'm going to have the best of the best, or I am not going to do this at all with somebody else. I'm just going to be by myself.
Huh? Wow.
Yep. And I was that happy with myself that I was fine to be by myself at that point.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Another thing is to get out of the blame game. Whether it's family members or any kind of sexual relationships, whatever it is, there's this blame game of, well, if he only listened, or if she only listened more, or if she understood more, or it's their fault that I'm acting this way, or all of this blame that's getting put on other people. And the reality is that we are the creators of our own universe.
I believe that, absolutely.
And so we're the creators of that being a wonderful, positive, happy one, and we're also the creators of allowing it to stay in a negative place.
The buck stops here, huh? Wow.
Yep. And so, and for a lot of us, people like me that had only learned unhealthy relationships, we didn't know that we could create our own universe. We just thought that love was uncomfortable and it just wasn't a nice thing. And actually removing yourself from that and stopping to blame other people and realize the only person you can really control is yourself. And the second you realize that it's not your job to control other people or to fix other people, then that starts to be a major game change.
Wow.
And then the last one is just really looking for another whole person. It's a pet peeve of mine with some of my students and clients that I talk all the time about them saying they're looking for their other half. And my response to that is, you're not looking for your other half, you're looking for your other whole. Because if you have two people that are pieces of each other, you'll connect with each other because you're two broken people. And you might connect, but that connection is actually something really that shouldn't be connecting, because those empty, broken pieces of yourself are being filled by somebody else or taken advantage of by somebody else, and that ends up hurting you in the long run.
Codependencies.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
Dr. Bruce Lipton talks about having, he's a scientist, so he talks about in scientific terms, and he talks about neurons that are full and complete are able to work together, but when they're not complete, they kind of work together, but then they start shaking. And that's like human beings,
right,
where we start shaking and we're actually not working well, and then we start fighting and we have all this conflict, and then we get used to it. We get used to that being our lives, and we think that that's normal. And it doesn't have to be, because what is normal and good is happiness and abundance and joy and enjoying every moment, and really having a partner that's there as a full person to help you be the best version of yourself.
Wow, that's beautiful. So if people would like to experience these type of transformations, how can they get help and support for something like that?
Well, I offer a variety of very personalized coaching packages, and they are designed to help people take action steps to make the changes that they need for their own transformations. Normally what I do is the coaching session lasts about an hour. We meet once a week. Normally I recommend, of course, it didn't take you overnight to get to this place in your life, so it's going to take some time. Normally 3 to 6 months would be the minimum of what I would recommend.
Right.
And also in between our coaching sessions, we also have homework assignments. So there are things that you're going to have to do on your own to figure out things that you need to figure out, to work on parts of you that maybe need to be worked on, to learn more about yourself, and to really help you grow into the person that you are able to be.
That is cool. I guess you do Skype sessions possibly,
Yeah.
in person if necessary, if somebody's close. And
I tend to like to do Skype or even Facebook video, and the reason for that is because that way nobody has to go anywhere, because sometimes life gets in the way, or like for me, I have a young child. It's harder to get a babysitter. So it's a lot easier to just kind of go into a room of the house and get on your cell phone or get on your computer. And I really like seeing the person, because
That's
I'm
great.
also very intuitive. So if I can see your body language and see your reactions, and sometimes I can just tell, like, I see a light shine in your face when you talk about something, and I try to help push you go in that direction. Or I can see like a darkness come over you and you talk about something, and you might not even notice that you're doing it. But if I can
Right.
see it, I can point it out to you, and I can help work with you better and more individually.
that's
if I
cool.
can see
Look
you.
at that personal time. That's really awesome. So thank you so much for coming on my channel with me. I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was great. I appreciate
Absolutely,
it.
absolute pleasure. So once again, if you like my videos, don't forget to give them a thumbs up. I'm looking for that. Subscribe, hit the subscription button. We're looking for as many subscribers as possible so we can share all these positive vibes and messages just to help people out. That's what this channel is about. And don't forget to leave your comments down below. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link down below for Stephanie so you can get in contact with her and find out more about her and what she has to offer. That'll be in the description below. And this is Donnie P. I'm going to be signing out, like I say in every single video that I made for the last, 64, 65 weeks. Remember, live inspired.